Hey guys, welcome back to the next video. This video we are going to talk about replication controller. But before we go ahead and talk about replication controller, first let's understand what we have done so far. What we have done so far is that we have created a pod. Like for example, you had a control plane where you're actually running as a master or manager node. And from within that, you will be running kube control. And when you issue an apply of a YAML file, it basically gets your pod created on your data plane or your compute plane, where your worker node is running. Now you remember we have two worker nodes, but then every time you create a pod, it basically chooses sometimes worker node 1, sometimes worker node 2, but it only creates one pod everywhere, right? So the replication here does not actually work because there is no replication here altogether. Now, we have seen on the videos, which is discussed previously about the pods, we have seen that their pod can have multiple containers or single container, and pod will be existing under your data or your compute plane. These are something which we have discussed so far. Now, the next thing we are going to talk about is the replication controller, and later we have a separate session for your replica set as well. In terms of replication controller, you will be defining in the YAML file saying that how many replicas you need. As in like how many instances of that same content in the YAML file should appear. In this case, if your content is all about pods, how many pods should appear as per your data plane? As of now, we have two data planes or compute plane, which is worker 1 and worker 2, and each has the Kubernetes kubelet installed and running. Now, what it's going to do is like it's going to create 3 replicas. I couldn't show you the third replica over here, but let's just assume that first replica is created on worker 1, second one is created on worker 2, and third one is randomly created on worker 1. Now, how or what determination it creates it on worker 1, worker 2, how much amount of processing it is assigned to that, we will talk about that on the workload management. We will not talk about it right now because we have a separate session for it. Now, within that, you can see pods are getting created, and within that, you have a container which has an image running on it. So, this is basically what replication controller is. Replication controller came into existence from the version 1.0 of Kubernetes, and that has been still going on. And the updated version of replication controller is replica set. We will discuss about the difference between them when we go forward with training on understanding the replica set. That time we will talk about the differences between replication controller and replica set. But both of them uses the similar terminology, which is given over here, which talks about number of replicas it needs to, a particular pod needs to be available for. So that's something which we need to understand. So going forward, we'll be configuring a couple of instances or a couple of examples towards the replica controller, and we'll be much concentrating on the replica set rather than replica controller. All right. Thank you again for watching this video. I'll see you on the next one.